What if every day was Sunday? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you midweek. Hope you're staying cool in the midst of this last little heat blast, heat dome, whatever they call that. That question for you again. What if every day was Sunday? How would you live differently if every day felt like a Sunday to you? Now, a lot depends on how you define that word Sunday and what that naturally means to you, but I want to take you to a story in the Old Testament, and then we'll cover something briefly in the New Testament. You may be familiar with the story of God removing his people from Egypt and sending them off to the place called the Promised Land, which would eventually be called Israel. Well, when God communicates to Pharaoh, who was the leader of Egypt in those days, that God wanted him to release all of those slaves, God says something as simple as, "Let my people go." He didn't say pretty please, he didn't ask all that nicely, he didn't ask for Pharaoh's permission or feedback, and he especially identified them as my people, meaning Pharaoh, you have something or someone who belongs to me and I want them back. Well, friends, that "let my people go" was really only the first half of what God said to Pharaoh. He said, "Let my people go that they may serve me." At least that's what some translations of the Bible say. Other translations of the Bible say that they may worship me. Now, you might already be thinking, well, hang on a second, which one of those translations is right? Both of them. Because here's the thing, the Old Testament was written in a language called Hebrew, and in the Hebrew language, the word for worship is avad. Very simple, A-V-A-D, avad. Here's what's interesting. In the Hebrew language, the word for serve or work is avad. It's the same word. Because in their lingo, in their culture, in their way of living, to them, to worship was a form of serving. It was also a form of working. So their work wasn't simply their work. Their work was a way of serving and ultimately worshiping God. So here's the thing, when God's people were serving or working on their Monday through Saturday, they didn't simply see it as well, this is what I do on Monday through Saturday, and this is what earns me my wages, I'm paying the man here. And then on Sunday, they could go to church and worship God. No, that's not how they saw life. They saw life as a 7-day worship cycle, meaning that every day of the week, even if they were doing something that didn't necessarily feel all that worshipful. I mean, what happens if they're cleaning up after animals, or plowing fields, or sweeping floors, or doing something even less distasteful than that? Well, they considered that to be worship, because all of life was something done to the Lord. There was no thought of, well, this is my Monday through Saturday life, and this is my Sunday life. It was just all serving, and it was all worshiping. Which is why in the book of Colossians, New Testament now, the Apostle Paul says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, for it is the Lord you are serving and not people. Meaning that even when you and I are doing some pretty mundane things during the course of the week, God says, I want you to do them as though you're doing them for me. It's like God is removing the distinction between Sunday and Monday through Saturday. I know a lot of people who grew up with the idea that Sunday is this holy day, and on Sunday we not only attend church services, but we live very differently because it is the Sabbath, and then Monday through Saturday is a different kind of life. Well, there may be some truth to that, but God says all of those days belong to me, and everything that you do matters to me. There isn't this distinction between Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. God says, may it all be worship to me. So friends, I wonder when's the last time you approached a week of work, or a week of school, or a week of doing whatever you do, and thought, this entire week belongs to the Lord, and I'm going to serve Him regardless of what I find myself doing. Friends, may every day be a day of worship to you, and may you serve the Lord with all your heart at all times. I hope that makes sense to you. It certainly gets me thinking about some things. Friends, we hope you have a wonderful week. Please pray for our Vacation Bible School, which has taken place this week at Fellowship Church. A lot of kids around here, a lot of great things happening. Please lift that up before the Lord in prayer as well, and we hope you have a wonderful week. God bless.